whisper tales that never end. Through shadowed glades and mountain spines, the world unfolds in crooked lines. Oh, wonder I must with dust on my boots.
Some songs are just tunes, right? But every now and then, you find one that has an entire philosophy packed inside it. Today, we're going to dive deep into the lyrics of the Wanderer's song to really unpack its incredible story of freedom, identity, and what it means to live a life that is completely, and I mean completely, unbound. Let's get into it. Right away, the song's chorus doesn't say, "I wander because I want to." It says, "Oh, wander I must." This isn't just a choice or some kind of vacation. No, this is a deep, fundamental need, a compulsion that shapes every single thing the wanderer does. This one word, must, is the engine that drives this entire story.
So, where does a journey like this even begin? Well, the first verse doesn't drop us in some familiar town or city. Nope. It throws us right into a world that is untamed, unpredictable, and just alive with mystery. This is the call of the wilds.
And this line, it just throws convention right out the window. A life of straight, predictable, easy-to-follow paths, that is not the wanderer's way. Their world is all about surprise, uncertainty, and constant discovery. It's a very conscious choice to embrace all the crooked lines life has to offer. You can really see this in the landscape the song paints for us. Rivers dare to bend, woods have these tales that never end, and giant mountain spines just dominate the horizon. So this is not some gentle, postcard-perfect scene. It's a mythic, challenging world that is actively shaping the person who's traveling through it. And living in a wild landscape like that, well, it forges a really unique personal philosophy. The song's chorus isn't just some catchy hook. It's the wanderer's creed. It's a set of core beliefs that guide their entire existence. And each line here is basically its own declaration. Dust on my boots, that grounds the whole thing in physical reality. Ancient roots suggest this connection to something primal, way older than any city or society. The road sings loud tells us that the journey is the destination. That's where the joy is. And trusting the stars over a map, that's the ultimate act of surrender to your gut and the natural world.
And make no mistake, this is a deliberate choice. The song is so explicit about rejecting the ultimate symbols of safety and comfort, the castle and the hearth. And what does the wanderer choose instead? The total uncertainty and challenge of the wilds. That's a huge statement about what they truly value.
But this kind of radical freedom, it isn't free. The song gets into the trades the wanderer has to make. There's a currency to living this way, but it's probably not what you're thinking. See, the wanderer is playing by a completely different set of rules. Material wealth, gold, is traded away for something you can't hold. Stories and experience. And even more powerful, fears are bartered for courage. They are literally trading weakness for strength, safety for personal growth. So this isn't a life about avoiding risk. No way. It's a life built on top of it. Every single step is a gamble, and every turn in the road is a dare. For the wanderer, uncertainty isn't a problem to be solved. It's the whole point. So in this world of constant risk, where do they find any kind of safety or comfort? Not in a castle, but in nature itself. The wind is their protection, the moon is their spiritual guide. This shows a complete and total reliance on the natural world for everything. But for all the external challenges, the twisting paths, the tough weather, the ultimate source of strength comes from within. This line is just a pure, unwavering declaration of self-belief. It's that inner resilience that makes this whole crazy journey possible in the first place. Okay, so now we get to the bridge of the song, and this is where things get really interesting. We get a series of these powerful encounters. These are meetings with figures that could easily define who you are, but for the wanderer, they serve a very different purpose. First up, a knight. You can imagine what that represents, right? Honor, duty, a specific role in society, maybe even a famous name. The wanderer meets this archetype, sees it for what it is, but ultimately just moves on without taking on that identity. Next, there's a merchant. This character is all about the world of commerce, of cleverness, of complex systems and rules. And again, the wanderer engages with this world, seems to understand its riddles, but isn't tempted or trapped by its logic. And then, of course, the final test, a dragon. This is that raw primal force. It could be fear, it could be power, it could be some great danger. The wanderer faces this incredible power and, crucially, walks away from it with their own identity completely intact.
So what's the point of meeting all these figures? Well, it all leads to the song's biggest, most powerful revelation, that the wanderer's identity isn't defined by what they are, but by what they are not.
This line right here, this is the climax of the entire song. After meeting the knight, the merchant, and the dragon, the wanderer makes their definitive statement. They are unbound by any role and unclaimed by any person or system or power. It's a declaration of absolute self-sovereignty. And the song really doubles down on this radical idea of freedom. First, by rejecting the chains of love, refusing to be defined or even limited by the most profound personal relationships. And then, right after that, rejecting tethered fame. This is a refusal of a public identity, of reputation, of being known as something. The wanderer doesn't want to be seen by the world. They want to see the world for themselves.
And that just leaves us with the song's central challenging question. In a world that is constantly asking us to pick a label, to join a team, to accept a definition for ourselves, this song asks us to think about the opposite. It makes you wonder, what could true freedom actually look like? And what might we discover about ourselves if we too chose to remain unbound and unclaimed?